We've already known for many years that Exxon Mobil knew that burning the fuel that they produce and make tons of money off of is going to have a very predictable effect on the environment and lead to overall heating of the environment, the climate change that we're currently dealing with. I'm not here to talk about that today. What I'm here to talk about is new research showing that not only did they know that there was going to be an effect, but they were shockingly accurate at the rate and amount of the effect. Way back in the 70s, we're talking about a half a century ago, they kind of nailed it on how bad things would get if we continued business as usual, literally business as usual. And so despite that, they still claim that they haven't done literally anything wrong. We're gonna run through these facts and I'm gonna let you decide for yourself. First, here are the details of the study that we're gonna be discussing. Jeffrey Suprin is a historian of science at Harvard University. And what he did was he looked at internal company documents that had been discovered at Exxon back in 2015. And whereas past reports that we have covered on this channel, feel free to look for those on YouTube, focused on textual evidence of the company's knowledge, Suprin and his two co-authors, a climate scientist at Potsdam University and a Harvard science historian, present the first quantitative review of their actual early numerical and graphical data on climate scientists. So not just quotes about what they know or an acknowledgement that they were running a study, diving into the actual studies. What did they find when they put real scientists on it? And so it started with a tweet from Rahmstorf, who back in 2019 took an ExxonMobil 1982 climate projection graph and then mapped it over the actual data that we've seen, and they are highly similar. So once they saw that, they thought, oh, there is actually something to this. Way back in the early 80s, this is like pre-Stranger Things era, they knew kind of what they were looking at. Let's dive in and see how accurate they were. And here's what they found. Our results show that in private and academic circles since the late 1970s and early 1980s, ExxonMobil predicted global warming correctly and skillfully. Using established statistical techniques, we find that 63 to 83% of the climate projections reported by ExxonMobil scientists were accurate in predicting subsequent global warming. Their average projected warming was 0.2 degrees plus or minus 0.04 degrees Celsius per decade, which is, with an uncertainty, the same as that of independent academic and government projections published between 1970 and 2007. And the documents that they looked into from ExxonMobil were labeled